Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back for another reading. We're gonna get into the reading, but first I wanted to share this new rock I got. This is a carnelian, and the carnelian is... The carnelian talks about... It doesn't talk about anything, it's a rock. Carnelian represents the sacral chakra, and I'm currently learning about the sacral chakra, and I would really like to do a video about it once I feel like I know enough. But basically, I've been learning about the sacral chakra and how it's correlated with the womb and the source of our creative energy. It can also talk about rage, divine rage, passion, sex, all that good stuff. Everything that creates. Anyway, look at my new rock. Look how beautiful it is. What I really loved about it was as soon as I picked it up, I was like, this is very ergonomic. This is really nice to hold. But I love the size of it because it just fits in your hand, and also it's shaped like fire, which is very I don't know, it's just good design. It's good design because, sacral chakra, passion, it's good energy. Look at it. How cute. Ah! Okay. We're gonna leave her there. Actually, I want to name her. So let me know down in the comments what I should name her. Let me know down in the comments what I should name her. Look at her. Miss Bonita. Okay. We're gonna get it into the tarot. But I did have a message downloaded a few days ago, but I've been kind of sitting on it. And I wanted to talk about timeline shifting. And how sometimes when we're shifting timelines, it can kind of feel like the universe is playing tricks on us. But that's not really what's happening. Okay, the image I'm getting is those kids' toys where it's like a thing you look through, and then but you could put a little picture in the thing, and then you get the light, and then you could see the image. Sometimes it feels like when we're shifting timelines that the universe is just constantly switching that out. And that's not to trick you. It's not to... How do I explain this? It's not to trick you, and it's not to deceive you. It's to get you prepared for the timeline that you really, truly do desire. And as long as we can stay focused on that timeline, that end timeline, the highest timeline, these little switches that the universe is doing with those pictures, it's just gonna be funny. It's just funny as fuck. It doesn't have to be oh man, the universe does not want to give me my blessings. No, it's just the universe is first you have to see this photo, get information from this timeline, this scene or whatever. And then once you're oh, I see, I get the message, I understand, the universe switches out another one. So yeah, timeline shifting, it's really fucking funny. It's really, really funny if you look at it in the grand scheme of things. How you think you're going one way, and then the universe has you pivot, and then you pivot again, but it's all working out. It's all working out because there's always something to learn, always something to gain from different timelines. As long as you can ground yourself, in your awareness, in your divine nature, man, these shifts are gonna go by so smooth, so smooth. Okay. So now we're going to get into the tarot. Thank you, God. Thank you, Source, for these divine messages to share with whoever's watching, with the collective, for you, for me. Let's see, we were just talking about a timeline shift. So maybe there's information here about a timeline that is shifting, that is coming in. Okay, how about this? We'll talk about the highest and best timeline. Queen of Pentacles. Love that! Okay, we're going to talk about the highest timeline, and then we're going to talk about the current timeline. And we'll just go from there. And then I have a few other oracle cards to finish off this message. So starting with the Queen of Pentacles, this is very much receptivity to physical abundance, financial abundance, and or health. Why not both? We're healthy, we're wealthy on this channel. So your highest timeline is just Your highest timeline is receiving your physical manifestation. I mean, duh, but Ace of Pentacles. So Ace of Pentacles talks about a new beginning, a new financial venture, a new seed planted. So there's some kind of seed that you planted with intention. With the Ace of Pentacles, at least this Ace of Pentacles, I'm getting there was some kind of move, some kind of action, some kind of offering that you recently gave or is coming in. But with the Queen of Pentacles, I'm really getting like you're receiving this offer. You're receiving an offer. Oh my god, and we have the Empress. Okay. So this is like the Mega Queen. This is the Empress. The Empress is the queen of all queens. This is the queen of all 4 elements. So it is the Queen of Pentacles, Queen of Swords, Queen of Cups, Queen of Wands, all combined into one. This is like the queen of all the kingdoms here. Queen of all the queendoms here. This is divine feminine energy. This is divine feminine energy. You're receiving everything you've ever wanted, everything you've ever wished for, everything that you've ever imagined, or everything that you've seen in your mind's eye plus more. With this Queen of Pentacles, it's like now you're ready to receive this offer. You're ready to receive this physical manifestation. I'm getting the message, you know you're a queen, period. But this Queen of Pentacles, it's like you're truly embodying the person who has it all. Who has everything they need, and everything they need is everything they have. Got 3 cards. We have the Death card, we have the 9 of Wands, and we have the 7 of Cups. So the Death card talks about, I'm getting radical awareness. This is radical awareness of every single timeline you've been on, of every single timeline that you're ever going to be in, and the timeline that you are currently in. You're present with all of it. And because you're present with all of it, there's some kind of ego death here. There's some kind of, it's like death of all the egos. You're just aware. With this 9 of Wands talks about the wounded warrior. So this is somebody who's had to fight for what they wanted. This is somebody who's had to go through a lot of shit to get to where they are. But with the 7 of Cups, I'm getting like, by staying in that energy of the wounded warrior, of being like, I've gone through all this shit, so I deserve this, or just like overly identifying with that archetype, with that character, it's kind of left you in this state of confusion about what it is you really want. And that's the ego that's being released here with the Death card. When you come back to your radical awareness, you are remembering that archetype, that character doesn't actually exist. It doesn't define you, and it's not your identity, because your truth is just consciousness. It is awareness, period. It is this queen energy of receptivity, and this is bringing you a new, physically abundant, new beginning. Spirit is having me read this back, kind of. Or definitely not from left to right, per se. You don't have to fight for what it is you want anymore. You don't have to strive. You don't have to work hard. You don't even have to choose. You don't have to stay in the state of, I don't know what I want. Like, you don't have to keep affirming that for yourself, because then you're just going to stay in the state of, I don't know what I want. Once you accept that identity is dead, it's old, it's benign, you're going to come into this, or you already are, in this state of receiving whatever the universe has to give to you. Because the universe hears you. The universe is always listening to you. The universe knows your heart better than you do. Okay, so with this 9 of Wands and this 7 of Cups, it's like trying so hard to manifest, or like trying so hard to put your intention into the universe that you're kind of like stressing yourself out with like these techniques of manifesting, or these what do you call it? Yeah, techniques of manifesting. You're just like I don't know what I want, so I have to choose something that I want. Otherwise, the universe is not going to give me my blessings. That's not the truth. The truth is, as long as you're aware, as long as you're in the present moment, and you're just happy with what you have, you're grateful with what you have and what you can even see with your mind's eye, the universe is going to give, oh my God, my hand is cramping. The universe is going to give it to you. The universe is going to give it to you. And this is a message to stay ready for that. Stay ready so you don't have to get ready. Stay ready because you have always been ready, because you are currently ready, and you will always be ready. Because this physical manifestation, man, as soon as you accept it with gratitude and you express that gratitude and you can fully sink into it, receiving this new beginning, this new timeline, this physical manifestation is going to be so much smoother. It's going to be so much more natural. You're going to be able to receive it with less resistance. And you don't even have to stress yourself out with choosing what it is that you want. The universe already knows what you want. Okay. Let's see. We're going to get some more messages. Maybe about current timeline. I guess we kind of did touch on current timeline with those last 3 cards. Let's see if there's any other messages in the tarot. Thank you, God. Thank you, Source, for these divine messages. Thank you for watching. If you're liking what you're hearing, please like, comment, subscribe. Comment down below how this is resonating for you. That would help me out so much. Okay. The 9 of Swords. So the 9 of Swords talks about illusions. It talks about a mental structure that we've built inside our minds that is provoking fear with it. But with the 9 of Swords, what I love about the 9 of Swords is that it's an illusion. It is an illusion, especially with all these good cards we have up here. Whatever you're stressing about, or whatever mental paradigm you've created for yourself, is the illusion. Anything else? Almost. You see that? Okay. Oh, okay. Okay, we're getting messy with it. I think we're just going to move on to the Mary Magdalene Oracle card here. Okay, thank you, Mary Magdalene, for being with us here. Thank you, God. Thank you, Source, for the messages of awareness, of clarity, and of unconditional love. Mary Magdalene, love only expands. Love only ever expands. I'm getting a message with this 9 of Swords that whatever mental paradigm you put yourself in is an illusion. And whatever you're stressing about, I don't know how I can emphasize this anymore. It's an illusion. And once you accept love from the universe, once you accept love, the unconditional love that is the universe, it's going to expand and it's going to break this mental paradigm. Okay, because the Swords talks about like structures, defined boundaries, and when it's the 9 of Swords, it's one that's provoking fear. Love is going to expand so much, so much so that it breaks through this paradigm. It breaks through this narrative. It's going to break through any belief structure that you put around yourself. Love only ever expands. The good. I am inherently good. You are inherently good. Every single human being is inherently good. I'm feeling called to talk about like the inner child. This is something that this is a download that I was receiving while I was doing yoga earlier. And that is that like our inner child is our highest self. Because before, we're conditioned by the world, before we learn about, societal, cultural, familial beliefs, we are pure. We are pure, like a child. Your highest self is inherently good, just as children are inherently good. And when we can accept our inner child and get into that energy of play, of curiosity, that's gonna bring in this love. That's gonna bring in this love that expands through the mental paradigm that keeps us rooted in fear. You are inherently good. I am inherently good. We are all inherently good. Any other messages? Thank you, Mary Magdalene. The 5th power. I am a body and a soul. So this card talks about So this card talks about the duality that we have to exist in while here on Earth. It is the balancing act that we participate in as spiritual beings and as humans. This is accepting the duality between our divine masculine and our divine feminine. I want you to look at the image on this. We see that the human is the divine masculine, and I say that because, can you see it? Yeah, okay. And I say that because we have the sun around the head of the human. And to the left, we have the soul, the higher self, with the moon, which is our divine feminine. So in order to get to our highest timeline, and I say that colloquially, is that the right word? I say that colloquially because our highest timeline is already. As soon as we accept this higher self, accept that we have a soul, and our soul is inherently good, we can create this, and when we're honoring our human body, we are creating this momentum to ground this highest timeline into our reality. When we're in this energy of play, of curiosity, no judgment, and we're taking care of ourselves, of our bodies, through health, through finance, through our relationship with others, the creation of the highest timeline, the grounding of it, is inevitable. It is inevitable. All right, we're going to see if there's any other messages from Mary Mag. Remembering who I am. Remembering I know who I am. So if you're still going through this phase of trying to figure it out what it is you want out of life, or you're having this like overexertion of energy in the illusion of choice, go back to the I am declarative. You don't have to follow it with anything. Just remember I am. Remember you are. This is bringing back the message I was saying earlier about these photos in the projector that keep on switching. Sometimes it can also feel like a whirlwind, like we're in the eye of the storm. There's so much going on around us, but we can't attach to it. We can't identify with the changing world around us. We have to remember who we are. It is the I am. So while people are leaving, while people are coming into our lives, passing by, we have to stay grounded. We have to stay rooted in our own heart, who we know ourselves to be, the sovereign nature of our own divinity. And it's not about becoming, it's not about transcending into your highest self. This is about remembering. All of knowledge already exists. So you're not truly learning anything new about yourself. You're not truly learning anything. You're just remembering. You're remembering that you are a body and a soul. You are remembering your true divine nature. That is this empress. That is this royalty. That is this being who deserves everything their hearts desires. Even if we don't know consciously, that was aggressive. Even if we don't know consciously what exactly that is, we don't have to choose. We don't have to choose. Because choice is an illusion. And I mean that in the best way possible. Like, sometimes we burn ourselves out with this desiring, with trying to manifest. But all of manifestations are already done. Like, all of creation already exists in the present moment. And as long as you're choosing yourself every time, you're remembering yourself every time, you're going to get exactly what it is you want, even if you don't consciously know what it is you want. Because the universe is always listening. The universe is always listening. Okay. We're going to close out this message with some essential oil, God, that's hard to say, essential oil oracle cards. And this is just going to be like little affirmations, maybe something to focus on. Okay. Oh, that's a lot. Let's, so we have 2. We have passion. The trigger statement is, I am scared. Confirmation burp. Okay, sorry, not passion. It is jasmine. And the key word here is passion. The trigger statement is, I am scared. The true statement is, when I am vulnerable, I am at my strongest. Reconnect with your feminine energy and pursue something that ignites your fire. Open the gates of your fortress and explore. I love that, especially because I got this carnelian. Okay. And then we have ginger. The key word is will. Trigger statement, I am a victim. The true statement is, I am powerful beyond measure. You are strong and capable. With gratitude, optimism, and action, manifest the life you desire. Reconnect with your feminine energy and pursue something that ignites your fire. So you don't even have to choose. You don't even have to take up all your awareness with trying to choose what it is you want. All you have to do is pursue what ignites your fire. Whatever that is. Literally whatever that is. What makes you feel most playful, what makes you feel most passionate, whatever inspires you. And for our last card, we have uplifting. The keyword is cheerful. The trigger statement is I am powerless, and the true statement is I am excited to see what the future brings. The future is bright. Enjoy knowing that your optimism today fuels your amazing tomorrow. Stay blessed. I'm thinking of this meme that's like, what is it? Get blessed. Stay absolutely fucking treasured. Okay, if I can find it, I'm gonna post it here in the video. But know that your future is bright. Whatever it is, whatever mental paradigm you created for yourself, whatever fears that maybe you held for so long, it's an illusion. It's an illusion when we come back to the present moment and we remember ourselves, our higher selves, and we know that the only thing that truly exists is the present moment. You don't have to choose what it is you want out of life. You just have to choose to stay in the present moment. You just have to choose, yes, I want the best, the absolute best for myself. You don't have to focus so much on form. Because when we're manifesting, when we're seeing something in our mind's eye, sometimes that specific thing isn't what's going to manifest, but it is the fulfillment that you are, it is the fulfillment that it is giving you that will manifest. That's all I have for you. Stay blessed. Stay absolutely fucking treasured. I love you. I'll see you next time. Okay? Live, laugh, like, and subscribe.